Julia Curley served the United States for nearly 20 years, personally briefing Presidents Biden and Trump, as well as Vice President Mike Pence. White House staffers called her indispensable. She was also a transgender CIA officer. Curley says the Trump administration did not care about her gender identity until her role became public. And she became, as she puts it in a new piece for The Atlantic, the wrong kind of American. After Trump was elected to a second term in 2024, Curley was warned she could be targeted and was advised to leave before Inauguration Day. Her boss told her, quote, "You don't have to do this. You have a target on your back that others don't." She responded, "With respect, sir, this is what we do." About 2 months into Trump's second term, Julia Curley was fired. I want to bring in Peter Alexander, host of State of Play here on MS Now. He just spoke to Curley a short time ago for her first television interview. Ben Rhodes is still with us. Peter, the full interview is going to air on your show tomorrow, but what stood out to you from your conversation with her?
Alicia, thanks for including me in this conversation. I was really struck by Julia Curley. We just wrapped this conversation up a matter of minutes ago. She said, among other things, that she wanted to come forward and speak about how this administration and this sort of climate has been casually, in her words, throwing away these dedicated officers. Certainly she is among them. You'll remember just a couple of months into this second term for President Trump, Tulsi Gabbard fired about 100 transgender members of the intelligence community. That wasn't the only example. There are other examples throughout the administration here. And she detailed for me this sort of palpable fear that exists within the LGBTQ community all across the administration right now. She said, in effect, it had become intolerable to her, which is why she felt the need to speak publicly about this. And specifically in our conversation, I asked her about that firing and even before that about her decision not to resign when her boss, as you detailed, said to her just a matter of days into the second term that she was likely to be targeted. And here was her response.
I had served through the Bush administration, through the Obama administration, through the first Trump administration, through the Biden administration, and I believe firmly that I could do it, that it would be like before, that despite my profound differences at a personal level, it was still my obligation to serve, regardless of party. And so I decided to stay, and so did most of the rest of the National Security Council.
But what did you make of the changes that were happening around you, including the inability to use the correct bathroom when you were in the offices of the West Wing or the executive office building?
That was, I won't lie to you, that was very difficult. To be reminded every day that I was not considered to be an equal or that I didn't deserve to be treated and accorded the identity which I am. However, I just wanted to do the job. And so as difficult as that was, I made workarounds so that I could continue on crossing the street to use the bathroom when needed. And I also didn't want to give them any reason at all to think that I was not up for the job, or that, and I didn't want to take any step that would give them a pretext to send me away when I had a job to do.
Julia Curley's answer as to why she did not resign when President Trump returned to office just a couple of years ago now. She had a series of other comments that I thought were particularly striking. She said, among other things, that the reason she was fired then about 70 days later, and it happened after the right-wing provocateur Laura Loomer had basically posted publicly on social media calling on anybody within the administration to out her publicly, basically to share the details publicly that she was a transgender woman working within the administration. She said it was very open to everybody with whom she worked that was the case. Ultimately, she was fired. She said, Alicia, she said she was then told to be discreet. They fired her on a Friday and asked her to return to the office discreetly for the next few days to keep working. In effect, what she said was they wanted her service, but they didn't want her.
Ben, in the same piece, Curley wrote about the damage to U.S. security interests that was done when scores of staff members were fired. Attention was turned to anti-DEI crusades. She says programs crucial to U.S. interests sat unmanaged. The officers who had been in charge of them had been escorted out. There is the cruelty of what has happened to her. What is the cost to the country?
Yeah, well, I mean, first and foremost, it's cruel, it's wrong to treat people like this. It's also incredibly stupid. because we have seen thousands of years of experience either shoved or walk out the door in the two Trump presidencies and an acceleration in this one. We've seen Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon only promote people that seem to fit a certain kind of type, usually white, usually male, presumably politically aligned with the president. What does that get you? Well, it causes you to lose all of the experience, all the expertise, all the patriotism of people because of their identity. And what are we left with? Pete Hegseth? How's that going? How competent, how much has Pete Hegseth restored competence to the Pentagon? Let's take a look at the conditions on the USS Lincoln. Let's take a look at the state of the war in Iran. How many experts on Iran might have it been useful to have in the room when Donald Trump is launching a war without understanding that Iran would close down the Strait of Hormuz? I mean, we are living with the consequences. These are not hypothetical. We can all see the decline in the confidence in our government. And talking to people who I know have been in both parties, this is happening at the State Department, this is happening in the uniformed military, this is happening at the Pentagon, this is happening in the intelligence community. And so whoever comes after Trump, this is going to be a generational effort to just restore a degree of competence to the U.S. government. No ideology here whatsoever. I don't know the ideology of people that are career people most of the time that I was in government. They know how to do certain things and do them very well. And Donald Trump is making sure that they're not welcome in the U.S. government. And that is both wrong and stupid.
Peter, I have less than a minute left, but I am curious in your conversation with Carly if she expressed this concern over what this type of brain drain will mean for America's national security.
I think, in effect, without using that language, she would say the same thing as Ben is articulating right now, what the impact is on the national security community. What I was struck by is that she, for more than a year, just to give you a sense of how in the inner circle she was, she, for more than a year, briefed the former Vice President Mike Pence when he served as the president's vice president. So that meant she was with him each day. As soon as the coffee was warm, she said he wanted his daily briefing. She said despite his public positions opposing same-sex marriage and opposing transgender service members in the military, that he was, in her words, an excellent user of intelligence in an administration where she says that was not always the case. Mike Pence put aside any of his issues with the LGBT community to receive the best information. And she says, as a function of her being ousted now, and not just her, that it is having a real impact because, as Ben indicated, it's not just tens, it's not just hundreds, it's thousands of years of institutional knowledge and money that we are spending on our intelligence community to help better inform the president, the vice president, and other top leaders of this country.
Peter Alexander, thank you so much for bringing us a part of this interview. Ben Rhodes, thank you.